Jefe with Jefe, and we're joined by Kirk from Metallica, and welcome back to Atlanta, first of all.
It's good to be back here. I love Atlanta. I had some good times here. What can I say? Hot Atlanta.
Right. It's a happening now. Doors, hours before doors even open, and people are already out there waiting. They can't wait.
Yeah.
So, something to look forward to. A lot of bands have success, but there aren't too many that are up there with Metallica. I mean, and I don't know if you envisioned that when you guys first got started. My guess would be no, but it seems like so many people are Metallica fans, and I've been working in radio for 10 years, rock radio, and the Metallica fans, I hear a lot, your biggest fans are also at times your most harsh critics. So as a musician, when you guys are recording an album, is there a constant struggle within at all times to not only express yourself the way you want to, and the way the rest of the band wants to, but also take into consideration the balancing act of management and what they want, and then the fans and what they think they might want?
You know, ever since Metallica's first inception, ever since I would guess Ride the Lightning, we came to the realization that everything you're talking about, taking other parties into consideration while we're writing and recording an album, we realized that it's a dead end street. If anything, you're just kind of you're diluting your creative powers, and you're actually harming the creative process when you write with other factors in mind. When you're trying to come up with music and musical ideas and songs and whatnot. Very early on, we realized that the best thing to do, the most honest thing to do, the thing to do that has the most integrity, is to just play the music you want to hear and make the music you want to hear, and make the music that is creatively satisfying to yourself and which gives you the most gratification. Because at the end of the day, if you put out something that you stand behind 100%, then you're immune to any sort of, well, I wouldn't say immune, but you know from your heart that you've approached this from an honest sort of direction, and you know that you're not compromising yourself and not compromising your creative abilities just that you can sell albums or satisfy a certain group or a certain demographic or a business model or whatever. We've always made music for ourselves, and we'll always continue to do that because, like I said, if you try to make music other than for yourself, then it becomes a sort of circular sort of thing where you're chasing something that is not, has nothing to do with music. I mean, selling albums, making money, whatever. I mean, we've never done that, even though a lot of people would say otherwise. Right. But we have never, ever compromised ourselves. And when you start thinking, oh, we have to write music for this group of people, then it's just, you set yourself on a wild goose chase, a creative wild goose chase, and you end up chasing your own tail. Because at the end of the day, there will always be people who love your music, and there will always be people who don't like your music, or don't understand it. There will always be people who love whatever you put out.
Right.
And so, to cater to all these different sort of interests, it's just a waste of time, and a waste of energy, and a waste of creative energy. So we make music for ourselves because we know that we can stand behind that, and it's an honest approach, and it has integrity.
So when people call up on the radio show and they talk about Death Magnetic, and they say, wow, this is a really strong, heavy, intense album. It's old school Metallica again. No, it's not. It's Metallica. It just captured what they were feeling at the time they recorded it.
Yeah, I mean, that was, that's 100% accurate. The whole thing with Death Magnetic is we're taking music that we had written in the present and kind of put it through the same kind of filters that we used in the 80s, but to create something completely new and completely different and fresh sounding. And the most important thing for us when we were doing this, writing songs for Death Magnetic, was that it did not sound recycled or contrived or forced. And we realized that, as long as we kept to our own creative dreams and our own creative integrity, that it would not sound recycled or rehashed or whatever.
Right. Shaffee and Jefe with Kirk from Metallica on the project. One of the things that I noticed is just that when you really think about music and the icons of music, immediately coming to mind Michael Jackson, Madonna, Metallica. We're EM, right? And I'm sitting around watching football today, and I know, we read the story about you and, working a fast food job to buy the very first, equipment and all that kind of stuff. But everywhere, whether I'm watching a football game, I hear Metallica in the background, your wrist. Shaffee here is the public address announcer for the hockey team, the Atlanta Thrashers. Metallica. I mean, does it ever strike you, and do you just kind of realize, remembering when you were flipping burgers, taking that look back, like, wow, I'm on that level, we are these icons, and my music is everywhere.
Yeah. When I sit down and think about it, it's a lot to think about, it's a lot to comprehend. The one thing that kind of helps, what has helped us kind of adjust to all this, is that it was not an overnight thing. I mean, it gradually built up over the years, album by album, tour by tour, appearance by appearance. So we had time to kind of when we saw the wave coming, dig our feet in, dig our feet into the sand. And I think we're mentally better adjusted because of that. Because I see bands who go from having nothing to having everything literally overnight.
Right.
And then five years later they break up, or they splinter all these different factions, and they become a band of historical merit, but there's nothing really to say for the band in the present.
You guys carved your own way. You didn't let somebody else guide you.
Yeah, I mean, we totally did.
And had it not gotten to the level that it was right now, there was still already a very strong foundation in the beginning that you guys could have gone on as long as you have.
Yeah, I totally agree. I totally agree with that.